thought I had a charm called Gathering Swarm. It would have let me get all that geo. It's not that large an amount, but it's good practice to collect all that you can. Helps to have a stockpile when you run into a bunch of things you want to get. And this is the last simple key. Technically I have no use for that one, but I shouldn't have purchased it from Sly. I don't think there's any requirement for an achievement or percentage base getting that key. And if any key, it's going to be one that I wouldn't get, and then get at a later time if it is required, would be the one that I can fast travel to, or at least fast travel very close to. I just find it amusing to pop those. I don't know if it makes him take longer or not, but it's funny. Oh. I was expecting it to take a bit longer. Like, I knew that he would be quick to kill, but that was a little fast, even for my standards. Not that I mind killing everything faster than I should be. And now we have double jump. I am very happy to have double jump. I also really like the animation for it. Oh, and look at that. We can fight him again. This one might not go as smoothly. Much less smooth, but still rather smooth all the same. The balloons are more of an issue than he is. Or it, technically. Gives quite the bit of essence, though. See, the normal grubs have warm messages, I guess you could say. Now, before I forget, there was that area that I would like to visit before I leave. There's a handy little resource in there. In all honesty, this is the longest I've ever been without going into the sewers. Normally, it's one of the first things I do after getting that simple key for it. Speaking with them here would be a worse outcome in some ways. I can either reignite their warrior pride and have them die for it, or I can leave them to wallow in the feeling of inadequacy. I've seen them die a couple times, but leaving them to wallow is something that I've rarely chosen to do. Although since I haven't been killing the spirits, I guess, I believe that I will try to ensure the outcome of life for all the NPCs that I can. This is a really long room. It's where the White Palace used to be. Now I'm going to collect a little bit of a charm. Not one I plan to use.
¿Qué volen? ¿Más?
Fighting it would be quite interesting, don't you think? This is the charm I thought I had. Mainly because it's rather inexpensive. And now that all that remains is this one rancid egg. I refuse to purchase that one rancid egg. Now, if I'm not mistaken, this area should be relatively unchanged. Nope. Now that I think of it a little closely, I do believe there were two conditions for it turning into this. Though I can't recall if it was the King's Brand or the Monarch Wings. I knew that one way to turn it into this infected mess was to kill a dreamer. Sadly, the map doesn't really change. I'm here for Salubra, though. That is the largest money item that you can get. I almost forgot to grab the map for the resting grounds. Not that I needed to get around, but the map does look more complete when you have every location, rather than just a large gap. Now, by right of the King's Brand, we may enter into the Abyss. From that you can tell that there's something in here that they don't want the world to know of. Unfortunately for them, a being will know of it, and that being, well, it originated from here. Clever of them to put some soul just before the room. Now, an interesting thing, there are many locations where you can do this. you can dream now items in background. In this case, it's telling you the way that you can upgrade your uh, wailing wraiths into the abyssal shriek. Due to how out of the way the howling wraiths are, I have forgotten to grab it before coming down here several times, and then having to make 3 trips down here at the minimum, which I did not enjoy. Climbing back out is much more of an issue than getting into here. That will have to wait. Not too long, but it will wait. You may have noticed several times that I dashed into something. That is because I am very used to being able to dash through something. There is a way to permanently calm down the roiling tentacles, but that comes far later. That did not achieve much. Hello, Hornet.
La venu venido.
No, I reckon I'm geared enough for the final task. That final trial within the Colosseum of Fools. The one that designates someone as a fool themselves. Though before we handle the trial of the fool, it's time to defeat this moth. One of the two moths that I despise. Honestly, I hate this one more than the other. And not particularly great at killing him is why. Oh. Huh. Okay, I may have forgotten about that set of doors. I knew about this one, the locked one. I did not know that the bottom part was locked off. And now, we are prepared to enter the final of the trials, and that of the Fool. This one gives a lot of geo. Then, I believe an achievement. Though I would have done it without either of those rewards. You don't really get anything for a certain other thing. Still, almost everyone does it. Well, those that reach that point. This is another of the enemies that exist somewhere in the game, but have been upgraded for the Colosseum. I do not like their regular form, and I do not like their Colosseum form. Though at least I can kill them rather quickly, if they stop moving around so much. Those are enemies that I guess, should have seen. But due to my knowledge of the game, I decided to do the area they're in a little later. That guy really needs more health. Now, on that guy, that only exists in the Colosseum, but the attack that it uses is present elsewhere in the game. It is a boss attack. Look, it's an old friend. Oh, that was really quick. Okay, that one does not have the same amount of health as the other one did. I may deal significantly more damage, but there was no way that I dealt 300 damage in that small instance. Honestly, this level, they mostly just kill themselves. Maybe call it the trial of the fool when I'm not going to play like one, and heal whenever I can. Ah, yes, please. How that one works is that if you kill the rider, you still have to kill the beast. But if you kill the beast, then the rider just gives up, essentially. Never tried drill nailing the defeated rider until now. Nothing happens. Look at that, a solid 3,000 geo. You can repeat the trials as many times as you want. You get significantly less geo, though. Honestly, it's things that I can spend geo on are dwindling quite a bit. And no, I'm not getting that egg. That extra item you saw appear at the end there, you need to have gotten every single one of the charms in the game to be able to get. Finally. I didn't forget about it. I neglected to grab it for quite a while, yes, but I didn't forget. Hello, mushroom eating thing. Now I do believe that I am in desperate need of a map. because I'm not very familiar with this area in particular. Again, I don't know how he gets into these areas, but he does, and he maps them, and we love him for it. You may note that that is a dreamer. Get this. It's best to get rid of as many of these little explodey things as I can. Okay, I don't know how that one triggered, but I'm mostly fine. And that was for a charm notch. Oh, that helps. Honestly, I don't even know why I'm being so stubborn about getting the ability to go in the acid. Not like it'll do any harm to me for doing so. It would save me a lot of headache. And with that, we've all but opened the way to Monomon the teacher, one of 3 dreamers, and the bench as the face of Monomon, which is pretty neat. Though I do not plan to do Monomon first, I have an order I want to do for the dreamers. But for now, that will be all.